What's up? Tim Sykes, millionaire mentor and trader here. I'm going to talk about what I look at to see if a stock in a company is healthy or not. This might not be the fanciest one of my videos. I'm just going to do it right from bed here. I don't need to be fancy all the time. Like I usually work from bed. This is kind of the cool thing of being able to work from anywhere. Let me ask you a question. Would you want to work from bed? Leave a comment below this video. Do you want to work from bed, or would you like to? I know it's like bad for my posture. I've heard all the negatives, but for me, I love it. So I think that you should try to find a job that you love. Whether people approve of it or disapprove of it, it doesn't really matter. If it's a job that pays well, if it makes you money, if it supports you, maybe supports your family and friends in charity like my job does, and if you love it, if you're truly passionate about it, I think that's good. So sometimes, yeah, I do trade from bed. I'm here, not the fanciest place, but outside, you can't see, it's dark out, but outside is the Great Barrier Reef. I'm here in Australia at one of my favorite hotels in Port Douglas called the Grand Sheraton. Fast Wi-Fi, delicious food. There's a giant, I don't know, what would you call it? Like a lagoon out there that I've been swimming in. But I'm doing this video at night because the stock market actually opens at night. The stock market's going to open in like 2 hours. So I had some time to just go over some questions. And a lot of people ask me, again, like, how do you determine what a stock's health is? I'm actually here, interestingly, at the Great Barrier Reef. Got my new charity called SaveTheReef.org. Check that out because the reef's health is very bad. And so we're trying to get it better. We're trying to raise awareness. We're trying to just do better. With stocks, just expect the worst, okay? I'm sorry to be cynical. Just expect that they're all failures. They're all scams. They're not going to survive because if you look at the odds and stats, especially with low price, small cap companies, they are mostly likely going to fail. So you just got to be realistic about it. Obviously, every now and then one takes off, but you can't guess which one. And it's not based on, revenues or profits or profit margin or sector. Like, it's very tough to find like that magic where the company somehow creates a product or service that is in demand and they reap the rewards. A lot of companies have created good products like Sirius Satellite Radio and the stock has done nothing. TiVo and IMAX, a lot of these companies have breakthrough technologies and products, liquid metal, and these are terribly performing companies. So don't get so obsessed with a technology or product. That's one mistake that I see a lot of people making. But the product is so good. Of course the company is going to be good. No. What did they have to do to create that product? How much debt do they have? Sirius Satellite Radio, for example, brought on tons of debt. They bought XM satellite radio. They created this powerhouse, debt and debt and debt. And they're just, at least when I'm making this video, they haven't really performed that much. They have a lot of debt, a lot of losses over the years. So you have to think about that. Also, even if a product is so good or everyone uses it, it might already be baked into the current stock price. What if you have such a popular product and everyone already knows that it's popular? Like Jamba Juice is another good example. I think a lot of people have had Jamba Juice. I'm sure there's some people who haven't, but Jamba Juice has not been a good stock because it's always been popular ever since it came out, and it never really did anything. Shake Shack, Chipotle. Well, Chipotle actually was a big runner for a little bit. Restaurants are finicky. El Pollo Loco didn't really do that well. Shake Shack was a good IPO, and then it stinks. Fogo de Chao. I love Fogo de Chao, but that stock stinks. So don't get caught up in the product. And even if a company does have good revenues or profits right now, they might not have it in a few years. Okay, so when you're trying to judge a company's health, it's a very difficult proposition. And I would just say, don't even do it. Don't even try. Instead, focus on what can drive the stock forward. Does the company have new products coming out? Are their profit margins increasing? Do they have a new product where maybe they weren't very profitable in the past, but now they're getting more profitable thanks to this new product or new service or new business they acquired? The past is not always the determining factor of how good a company is or how good their stock is going to be. Stocks are priced based on, forward expectations. A company could have gigantic losses, just like, I said Sirius Satellite Radio has a great product, but they had a lot of debt. a lot of losses. They haven't really been able to overcome that. Sometimes you have companies that invest heavily in products, a lot of losses in the past, not good financials currently, but because they've been putting money in the right place, their future is looking bright. And if the new product comes out and they've, prepared for it, that might be a sleeper stock where you might not be able to judge the company's health based on the past, but based on, future estimates. When companies report quarterly earnings, what is the trend? One of my biggest and best successes trading a big company, I don't usually trade it, but I bought Facebook in two different accounts, my long-term account and short-term account a few years ago when they had a quarterly report that said their mobile ads were booming. And this was a totally new business that increased their margins and turned out to be the biggest thing that they had. But that first quarter, the stock, I think it was up from like the 20s to the 30s. And I bought it because I was like, this is such like a game-changing announcement. And I didn't have the patience to hold. I profited on both, but I held one for like a few hours and the other one for a few days. I don't have patience. But, that was the beginning of Facebook's exponential run-up. So think a little differently. Don't just look at PE ratio or value or how much cash they have in the bank right now. A lot of that stuff doesn't matter, especially for small cap companies where they know that some people look at this stuff, so they make things look good. They might talk to like one of their suppliers and get a big order, last second right before the quarter ends so that they can say, look, we had a good quarter. But that order isn't sustainable. It's not going to help drive the company in the future. It's just to masquerade and pretend that the company's healthy right now. So again, if you think about the worst, if you're like, this company is probably lying, the CEO is probably stealing, I'm not saying they're all scams, but by thinking about the worst, you won't be disappointed. It's a cynical way to approach life. I wouldn't expect the worst out of everybody you meet. Maybe innocent before proven guilty is a good thing with people that you meet and that you're friends and you want to work with. But in the stock market, because we know that most traders lose, because we know that most companies fail, because we know the games that many small cap companies play to get their stock up, even if they do get their stock up, they might get the stock up and do a financing at discount prices just so that they can raise like $5 million and pay the management team their salaries for the next few years. Meanwhile, the company's doing nothing. So I've seen so many tricks. I just don't believe a word that any CEO or management team says. Bear Stearns is a good example. I think it was like a day before they went bankrupt a few years ago. And the CEO or CFO was on TV. They asked him, hey, how's the business? And he said, everything's fine. The next day they went bankrupt. The management can't be honest about how bad a company it is, because if they do be honest, you might, reward them like ethically and morally, but the stock is going to get crushed. And the management team will likely be out on the street for being so honest. So picture everyone as like cheerleaders. It's all like the WWF. It's all fake. And you have to cut through that BS. If you believe it, you will get destroyed. You will join the 90% of traders who lose, and you'll wonder why. Because you were gullible, because you didn't listen to me. I don't know everything, but I have been around for 20 plus years, so I've learned a lot. So that's why I get to work from bed. That's why I get to work from anywhere I want. Sometimes I do trade from beaches or pools or trains or airplanes or ships or jets. I've traded in all these places, or cars. I've even done a few trades from my Lamborghini. If you look that up on my YouTube page, it was pretty funny. I pulled over to this fast food place. I think it was like, what was it? It was like some fried chicken place. It starts with a Z. Zarby's? Zigby's? I don't know. But it was fried chicken. I didn't even go in. I just parked my Lamborghini and I made a trade. And like two kids who had like some fried chicken came up to me and they're like, whoa, cool car, man. And I was like, leave me alone. I'm trading. So you have that freedom if you get that knowledge. You can choose an office. You can choose a cubicle. You don't have to travel the world and trade at night here in Australia. I choose to. Trading is all about freedom. But to get that freedom, you need to basically buy your freedom. Money can't necessarily buy happiness, but it can buy your freedom from the 9-to-5 rat race that too many people are stuck with and condemned to due to lack of education, due to lack of preparation. So don't make that mistake. Leave a comment underneath too, just with what you think about this video. Do you want to see more videos from my bed? I know they're not fancy, but I like showing you, how real I am and how real this is if you study hard. Cheers. Hey, Tim Sykes, millionaire mentor and trader. Thank you for watching my videos. I hope that they help you. I want to share everything that I've learned over the years. You can check out more videos right over there. And also click subscribe so that you can watch all of these videos, get that knowledge, and become my next millionaire student.